Our audience tonight don't know we're watching them, but there are surprises in store for Molly Westwood, who ushers in the new series and gives us all a treat with her dancing feet. Glenys Hayes, whose freezing ambition will be an ice surprise, and Maggie Edmonds, who not only finds her long-lost son, but discovers she's a granny too. For these people and more, it's Surprise, Surprise! Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Cilla Black.
The unexpected hits you between the eyes. The unpredictable, that's the surprise you see. Surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise. Thank you. Hello and welcome to a brand new series of Surprise, Surprise. The show that's full of surprises, including some for a few people here in our studio audience tonight. Well, I can tell you're dead surprised by that, aren't you? But there's one thing that always surprises me. Why is it that the walls of a hotel bedroom are too thin when you want to sleep and too thick when you want to listen? Strange, isn't it? Oh, but enough of that. Let's get on with the show. Tonight we've gone overboard, and at great expense, we've got our own usherette, and there she is up there, our very own Molly Westwood. Hello, Molly. oh, yes, and Molly, there's a few latecomers there. Oh, look at that, she's doing her job well, ushering them in. Get them ushered in there, Molly. Oh, you haven't lost the touch after all these years. Well, while you've finished ushering them in there, Molly, why don't you come down here and join me on the sofa, Chuck? Sit down there, Molly. Well, Molly, surprise, surprise. Actually, this is a surprise for your granddaughter, Sophie, isn't it? Because she kept on, she wrote me a lovely letter, your Sophie, and she kept on saying to me, I have never seen my gran as an usherette as she was 30 years ago. And she keeps saying to me, please, 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 can I see my gran as an usherette? Now, how do you think you look? I mean, is it near enough the way you looked 30 years ago?
Yes.
With that lovely hat, with that tassel?
With the tassel, yes.
That's going in your eye all the time. Do you remember those days 30 years ago?
Yes, quite plain, yes.
When you used to be at the Gaiety Cinema?
That's right.
Where was that?
In Barrow-in-Furness.
In Barrow-in-Furness. We've got a picture of that cinema. Oh, look at that. Has it changed much, Molly?
It's down to the ground now. It's a block of flats.
Oh, is it everything? Oh, it is a shame. Well, you look absolutely wonderful. And I know that Sophie will be watching tonight. I'm going to say hello to her. Hello, Sophie. I think your grandmother looks lovely, and I hope you do too. Do you want to give her a wave?
Yes. Hello, Sophie.
Isn't that nice? Well, we've got another little surprise for you, actually, Molly.
Have you?
Yes, we have. Even though you're dressed as an usherette, your Sophie also put in a letter that you did a bit of clog dancing.
Oh, no.
What do you mean, oh, no?
I'll do it now.
What do you mean you can't do it now? Well, you can't do it now because you haven't got the clogs.
No.
She said that you used to imitate your dad, is that right?
Yes.
Yes. Well, you're going to do a little bit of imitating for us. Yes, you are going to do it on tonight's show. And you know when you waved at your Sophie there in the screen? Give her another wave. Oh, you fool, Molly. She's not up there in Lingfield. She's here with your clogs. Surprise, surprise. Here's your granddaughter, Sophie. Come in, Sophie. And what do you think of them clogs? Oh, don't strangle her yet. Wait till after the show. Isn't that nice? Now, what do you think of your grandmother? Because you kept on going on about how you've never ever seen her dressed as an usherette, as she was 30 years ago. How do you think she looks tonight, Sophie?
Very smart.
Very smart. And are you looking forward to your grandmother clog dancing? Yes.
I don't think I could do it now.
Oh, you will be able to do it now. Well, yes, because you've got a partner. This is a surprise for you, Sophie. You're going to clog dance as well. Yes, don't think you're getting out out of it, I've got another pair of clogs for you, Chuck. They are. That's your clogs. Now, you won't be alone in all this as well, Molly and Sophie. You're going to have a little bit of moral support. We have got Liz Titley here from the Yorkshire Rose Clog Dancers. Come in, Liz. Come and give them a bit of moral support. Oh, look at that. Say hello. Oh, isn't that nice? Have a sit down there, Liz. Now, Liz, there they are. She's a wee bit... Are you a wee bit nervous, Molly?
Very.
Have you got any advice for her? But I know she's got the clogs. Are those clogs good enough?
Wonderful.
Are they?
Yes.
And how do you think she'll fare? Because I know our Sophie does a little bit of tap dancing.
She'll be fine. She'll be absolutely fine.
We've got a lot of time to rehearse, haven't we,
Isn't
Chuck?
it?
And Liz is going to take great care of you. Do you want to take them off now and let them have a little practice?
I will indeed.
Oh, give them a bit of support. Off you go. See you later. See you later. I'm sure they're going to be lovely. And you know what? I must tell you, I'm glad to be back. Do you know, I think I might go mad and surprise somebody else in our audience. Should I? Yes. Go on, let me be a devil on the first show back. Where are you, Glenys Hayes? Oh, there's the little hands going up. Come on, Glenys, you come and join us on the sofa as well. Don't you look smart? Surprise, surprise. Where did you think you were going tonight?
Well, come in here.
Come in here. What reason? You eating a sweet, Glenys?
No.
I mean, take it out. Either that or swallow it. Oh, she's taking it out. Well, Glenys, I suppose you're wondering why you're down here on the sofa. You knew you were coming to the studios.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Well, my daughter won a competition.
Oh, no, she didn't. No, she didn't. You're talking about your Julie?
Yes.
No, I had a letter from your Julie and your son Neil telling me that you've got this burning desire to spend a night in an igloo. I mean, how long have you had this desire?
A long time.
And why an igloo? I mean, did your mother fancy an Eskimo or what?
Something.
That you've always wanted to do. But I mean, where in this country do you know any igloo builders? No, and neither do we. Well, we didn't up till about a couple of days ago, but we found some igloo builders, and at this very moment, they're putting the finishing touches to your igloo. Have a look at this. Look at that. And that's an igloo, not far from here. Isn't that wonderful? Now you are, and I must tell you this, you are actually going to spend the night in an igloo. Oh, yes. Not just the end of the show. You're going to spend it on your own. But to set you off on that path, we've got our own special blubbermouth, Bob Carolgees, to tog you up and show you the way to your ice house. Come in, Bob Carolgees.
Hi, Cilla. Hello. Nice to see you, Chuck. How's it going?
Well, what can I say, Bob?
How do you want for tennis?
No, you look like the abominable snowman.
I feel like I'm waiting to be discovered.
Well, tell Glenys all about it. What have we got lined up for her tonight?
Well, it's all happening. The first thing is the bath in the sort of whale oil.
The bath in the whale oil?
Get you nice and greased up, you see, ready for being an Eskimo. And we've got all the... You've been 3 degrees. Stop hand-living, please. And we've got all the fur costumes for you and all that. And we've got the lovely igloo that you saw before. You're going to spend the night in that, and I'll show you around it, and we'll have a lovely supper in there, and it'll be smashing. I bet you're excited, you know.
Are you excited, Glenys?
Yes, I think.
Well, see how Glenys feels. Why don't you take Glenys off and show her all the mod cons and everything? We've got hot and running icicles in there. Oh, I can't wait to see her face when you show her it.
It'll be
I'll
grand.
see you later, Glenys. All right, see you later.
All right, cheers,
See you later,
Cilla.
Bob. Oh. off and shiver the night away, we'll go back in time to our last series when we surprised a Maggie Regan and sent her to Australia to go to her daughter's wedding. Look at this.
I'll try and come, honestly.
I know you will.
Oh, hang on,
I'm so
Michelle.
excited
Hang on,
about it
Maggie.
all.
You are going to meet. You are going to be at your daughter's wedding. I can't stand this any longer. Surprise, surprise. Here's your tickets for Sydney. You're going to your daughter's wedding.
I've got my tickets, I can come.
That's lovely.
I'm coming for the wedding.
Well, we got a nice thank you letter from Down Under, and here is Maggie with her daughter on her wedding day. Wasn't that lovely, yes? Yes. And also on the same show, we surprised a Mrs. Penny Adams on the phone. Now she's crackers about Dracula and would love to be bitten on the neck by a vampire. So you are going to be the vampiress. There's going to be blood everywhere. It's going to be marvellous. You'll really enjoy it. And we hope to get a very special, special Dracula for you, all right? Well, we did get that special celebrity Dracula, Nicholas Parsons, no less. And our intrepid vampire correspondent, Bob Carolgees, reports.
Good evening. Tonight we investigate the burning question. Do vampires really exist? Our intrepid reporter, Penny Adams, is to spend the night with the foremost living expert, the great scientist Dr. Van Helsing, who lives here in Transylvania, quite near Lewisham. Penny Adams to see you, sir. Thank you, Igor. How can I help you?
Good day, Doctor. I am interested in the supernatural. Tell me, do vampires really exist?
Of course not. I, as a great scientist, have for 100 years been studying the greatest of them all, Count Dracula. And I've come to the conclusion that he is all in the figment of the imagination. You have nothing to fear.
Well, personally, this is a view that I don't share. A great many authorities, going back to the 12th century, have spoken of the habits of the undead, who walk abroad and drink the blood of victims in order to retain their youth and vitality. But I believe that even now, something too horrible to contemplate is preparing to have its evil way with one of us.
Rubbish! Oh.
Why don't you take my bed tonight, Penny? The guest room's so uncomfortable.
Hey, of course I exist, and I have to drink the blood of a woman to stay young and gay. I hope I won't be misunderstood. I've always had a bad press. They must get their teeth into someone. Oh, God. Oh, this race is so damp. I'm appearing to her in her sleep as a bat in order to lure her to her doom.
What was that? There's no need to be offensive, my dear.
Dracula! Dracula! Wherefore art thou, Dracula?
She's a vintage woman! I've never tasted better!
Well, I'd like to say a very big thank you to that smashing Liverpool actress, Gilly Coleman. Wasn't she lovely? Yes, but the real star of that epic was our very own Penny Adams, sitting out there in our audience. Well done, Penny. There she is. You know, we're always delighted to get your letters for Searchline, so please keep writing in. Actually, here's a personal appeal we filmed a couple of days ago.
My name is Paul Smith. I'm looking for my half-brother and half-sister. They're part of a unit family of 4. Richard and Tina. Their original name was Frost. Our name, of course, was Smith. I believe they were both adopted in 1955 on the same day. I think Tina was adopted by a Mr. and Mrs. Gibbons. You note I call her Tina. Her name was Christine. They originally lived in Southall. They may have moved on. Richard was adopted by a Mr. and Mrs. Metcalf, who at the time lived in Hayes. I believe they've now moved on to Canvey Island. Whether or not they're still there, I unfortunately don't know. Apart from family ties, the reason I would really love to see them again was that, of course, I looked after the other 3 children until Tina was about 3 years old, and she'd already begun to develop her own personality, and I'd become very fond of her. And I'd dearly love to see both of you, if you are in fact watching. If you are, or anybody knows of you, could you please contact Searchline as soon as possible.
Well, Paul, that was a lovely appeal, really. It wasn't as bad as all that, was it?
No, it was easy, really.
It was easy, because
everybody made it simple.
I know. Mind you, since you filmed that appeal, we have found your brother and sister, who you haven't seen for over 30 years, and you're going to see them now. Surprise, surprise, Paul. Here's your half-sister, Tina, Chris as she's now called, and Richard. Oh, Richard's not Richard anymore. No, have a look at him. Come in, Tina and Chris. Well, we did do it, but we're going to take a break there, but we will be back in a couple of minutes. See you then. Thank you. Hello and welcome back. And I hear that our clog dancers, Molly and Sophie, are getting in their stride, and we'll be seeing them later. But right now, let's skate over to Eskimo Bob and his igloo. Are you there, Bobby? Oh, look at that.
Yes, Cilla. Nanook of the North Circular reporting in. Here we are, Glenys. This is your igloo. What do you think of it? It's beautiful, isn't it?
Very nice.
Well, it's got a lot of things that other igloos haven't got. It's got, it's fully detached, and it's got a lovely river view, and it's even got its own street lights. Isn't that wonderful? But we've got the inside as well. The outside's beautiful. But let's have a look inside. So you have a jump in there. Make yourself at home.
Is it really made of ice, Bob?
It certainly is. It's freezing. Hope I don't get stuck in here. Oh dear. I wasn't meant to be an Eskimo. Well, as you can see, Glenys, it's very, very spacious, this. There's so much room. You got all this, I mean, it's waterfall rugs, as you can see. Now, we've got a thermometer to let us know what the temperature is in here, and it's actually -30. That's without your wind chill factor, whatever that means. But there you are, it's very, very cold in here, but obviously they warm up, apparently. The water you can see is the igloo melting, but don't worry about that. But, you see, there's a few sections to this, and you see it's very spacious, it's only a single story, but over here is the bedroom area, where your sleeping bag is, where you're going to spend the night. Okie dokie. Then you've got the lounge here. This is the lounge section. Now, I'm in the kitchen where I am, and you're actually in the dining room. All right. Now, you have to be careful with this sort of igloo, and not to shut the door, or else the light goes off. All right, because it's like a freezer. So we have a bit of supper, just to start with. So, there you are, there's some fish for you. Nice raw fish here. This is really, really great stuff. So we'll have a nice dive into...
Eskimos eat?
So, oh, yes, everything raw. And we've got octopus to follow and a bit of whale meat.
Oh.
It's lovely. Try some of that, Glenys. You'll love it.
Yes, Glenys, I must say you're very brave, and I look forward to speaking to you later. I mean, if you haven't sort of melted along with the igloo, all right?
Right.
See you later, Chucks. Thanks a lot, Bob.
Right, cheers.
We'll be later for another look at the ice house, but it's time now to pop across the studio to our Gordon Burns, who's just about to switch on this week's Searchline.
Hello, please, not yet. It's great to be back with Searchline. We had a fantastic success rate in the last series. In fact, it was over 80%, and perhaps, with your help, we'll do even better this year. Certainly your letters have continued to pour in while we've been off the air. So, without further ado, let's get started. But, where shall we begin? She's still a great little mover, isn't she? Well, we began with the Cole Porter Standard. Someone who should remember it is Charles Wixie. That's him on the left of the photograph. During the 1930s, Charles sang in a three-piece band and used to give a particularly spectacular rendition of that song. Also in the band was Charles's stepbrother, Joseph Tuvey, who's written to us, as he hasn't seen Charles for over 30 years. During the war, Charles was in the King's Royal Rifles, and when Joseph last heard of him, Charles was a car delivery driver throughout England and Scotland. Joseph would love to find Charles again after all those years. So if anyone knows where he is, please ring Searchline. We've had a letter all the way from Greece, from the family of Anastasios Lambrianides. Tanos, as he was known, was the Greek welterweight boxing champion, and he came to Britain in 1959 when he was 22 to study marine engineering. He also continued boxing, as you can see from this photograph, he's the one on the right, and was based in Cardiff as part of the Benny Jacobs stable. But because of his student status, he wasn't allowed to box for money. So when he did enter the ring, he gave his share of the purse to charity. His family last heard of him in 1961 and would very much like to find him. So if you're watching Tanos, or if anyone knows where he is now, we'd be knocked out if you could ring the Searchline number. And here it is, 01 222 8070. That's it for the moment, but I'll be back with part 2 of Searchline later on in the programme, but right now we'll go back to Cilla.
Thanks a lot, Gordon. See you later, Chuck, all right? Well, as our Gordon said, we've had some smashing successes with our Searchline, and one of the stories we were working on at the end of the last series was about the Buckley family of Jersey. Now, the Buckleys were 11 children whose parents both died in the 1940s, leaving them all as orphans. In 1947, the baby of the family, David, was sent for adoption to South Africa, and the rest of the family didn't know anything about it until it was too late. Now, 2 of David's sisters actually tried to stop the boat as it left Jersey with David on board, but it was no use. In South Africa, David was brought up believing he'd been an only child. Even his name was changed, but the rest of the family never ever gave up hope of seeing him again. And this summer, 40 years later, they managed to trace him, and David discovered he had brothers and sisters he never knew about. So David decided to go to Jersey and surprise members of his newfound family. And we joined David and his wife, June, on the last leg of their 10,000-mile journey.
My feelings are, I reckon, are very mixed. You know, when you have, you anticipate something for as long as we have, this has been since about April this year, it's always going to happen. It's something that's in the future now, it's imminent, it's going to happen today. And I suppose there's a level of apprehension as well as tremendous excitement. Being back here, of course, it's a place I've always meant to come back to and sort of considered to be part of my roots. And secondly, it's very much like the country I come from at the moment, being on the coast. So yeah, very much back home. It's incredible. I've got to look around to see if I recognise places, you know. I'm sure that if I move around, it'll stir some memories. It's a long time ago. It was about 40 years ago when I left here as a child. It must have been from that harbour, I presume, yes. Obviously, my recollection of that is very scratchy. I have the T-shirt, or the little shirt which I left here, where I was sent away to South Africa, wearing. And interesting enough, it has my initials RB for Richard Buckley. My name, of course, at the moment is David Hugo. Evening to you.
trying to overhaul the farm into a building now.
Tom.
And, Ricky.
It's your brother. How are you?
No,
Brother.
Oh. Have a good day.
Oh, Ricky.
Oh, Brian. Really?
You're the nicest
Morning.
Hi, Eric.
Hi.
Nothing.
Tom, hi there. The photographs.
Double up, Brian. I can't get over.
Think of it as you go.
Hello, Jim.
I don't know what to say.
Damn it.
Put up the chair.
Sit down before I fall down. Sit down, Junior.
When did you come over then, Mo?
This morning.
You didn't give me a tinkle.
I didn't have the number.
Now, when I was a kid, parents used to threaten us with, oh, do you remember this? They used to say, if you don't behave yourself, I'll call a policeman. Well, for a bunch of kids in Winsford, this would be a pleasure, because they think their local policemen are smashing, especially PC Dave Large and PC Peter Gaskell. Now, Dave and Pete have really worked wonders for the young community in Winsford. They started up a disco, they organised trips to the seaside, fishing competitions, and school concerts involving physically handicapped children. Well, we got to know about Dave and Pete in a letter from some of the mums who wrote on behalf of all the kids. They felt that Dave and Pete deserved a special Cillagram. So the other week, I went up to Winsford for an undercover meeting with their boss. Hello, hello.
How are you?
Look.
Welcome.
Oh, thank you very much. I must tell everyone, this is Superintendent Mike Worthington, right?
That's correct.
Now we've got a special surprise waiting for us inside there, haven't we?
We have.
Two very unsuspecting guys by the name of Dave and Pete. Now, Super, you've called them here for a meeting, haven't you?
I have, yes.
But
yes.
what they don't realise that they'll be meeting
No,
me.
and they're going to be very shocked.
Are they?
Yes.
Well, what are we waiting for? Where do I go?
This way, please.
Right. Go, excited. Surprise, surprise!
I don't believe you. I don't believe you.
Yes, Dave, you're in this as well. It's nice to see you, isn't it? Lovely to see you too. What about you, Dave? I think he's gobsmacked. Well, I'll tell you why, me, because you're not just two super police officers.
Oh, my God.
Because you have been working here at Winsford for over 10 years, is that right?
Yeah.
And in your spare time, you give up your spare time. You do all these arrange all these local activities for all the children of Winsford, is that right?
Yeah.
I mean, tell me something about the activities. You arrange, what, fishing?
Yeah.
Five-a-side football?
Discos.
Discos? Now, are you wondering who told me all about you lot?
Yes, please. Who the heck?
Well, it was actually the children of Winsford. They wrote and said to me, you two lads are absolutely wonderful. Not only are you two super bobbies, but they want to thank you for being two great lads and for being their friends.
Oh, gosh.
Now, all the kids are waiting for you.
Seriously?
Seriously.
Oh, dear.
So we're going to join the kids, shall we go?
Yes, certainly.
Thank you for being our friend. Travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true, you're a pal and a confidant. We're not ashamed to say we hope it always stays this way. Our heads are break now, but before Molly and Sophie take the floor with the clogs, Gordon will be back on the search line, and I shall be making a very surprising phone call. So please join us in a couple of minutes. See you then. Well, it's time now to see those sparking clogs, Molly and Sophie. Well, they've been rehearsing like mad, and here they are, ably supported by Liz Titley and the Yorkshire Rose Clog Dancers. Give them a big round of applause. Oh. Well done, little Sophie, and well done you, Molly. And this is a very special surprise from Liz Titley and the clog dancers here. Yorkshire Roses. If you were getting some from me, they'd be red. Is that right, Liz? Yeah, from the Lancashire lads. We think you've been fabulous sports. Thank you both. Indeed, thanks a lot, Liz, and all the clog dancers. You did ever so well. Well done. Well, now it's time I made a phone call, and have a look at this phone. Isn't it lovely? Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Yes, it's a building block phone. Isn't that wonderful? Look at this. Oh, our Jack would love this. Yes, I mean, you can even build while you're dialing. Isn't that smashing? I'm looking forward to making that phone call, because in this new series of Surprise, Surprise, we've come up with a very exciting idea. As well as us surprising you, you will have a chance of surprising yourselves. The idea started up when one of our team had a chance meeting with a member of the Association of Visually Handicapped Golfers. Now, this organisation arranges matches for blind people. The competitors play with a sighted guide who goes with them and is able to tell the player which direction to tee off in, how far the green is, and, well, so on. Well, the association put us in touch with a Julia McFarlane of Liverpool. Julia's husband, Frank, hasn't had it easy. He's been blind since he was 11 years old, but in spite of his disability, Frank was determined to succeed, and succeed he did. We knew that Frank's lifelong wish is to be able to play golf. Well, I'm going to phone Frank now and make that wish come true. Now, there's 10 digits. I ought to know that, because I'm phoning me man every 5 minutes. I hope he's in. I hope he hasn't popped down to the pub. Here we go. I love this phone. I'll have another doodle. Apparently, Frank's got a really nice sense of humour. He's a teacher oh, it's ringing out. He's a teacher, actually, at St. Vincent's School in Liverpool.
Hello.
Hello, Frank. Is that you, Chuck?
It is. You sound like my sister.
Sound like your sister? What's your sister's name?
Margaret.
Oh, well, it's not your Margaret. Surprise, surprise, it's Cilla here.
Cilla?
You know, Cilla, I come from Liverpool as well, you know, Frank.
Not Cilla from St. Anthony's.
Cilla from St. Anthony's, my goodness me, how did you know that?
Ah, surprise, surprise, I'll tell you sometime.
Really? Well, you've absolutely turned the tables on me, Frank, because I did go to St Anthony's School in Scotland Road.
Scotty Road, yeah.
Oh, Scotty Road.
It is Cilla, isn't it?
It is. Cross me heart and hope to die, Frank. It is. And you'll never guess what I'm phoning you about.
I shudder to think.
You shudder...
It's not the piano, is it?
No, it's not the piano, although I know you play the piano very well, don't you, Chuck?
Well, I mean, I hear all the mistakes, but go on.
No, but...
What have I done?
Well, yeah. It's not what you've done, Chuck. It's about what you're going to do, because a little bird tells me that you're absolutely mad keen on sport. In fact, your lifelong wish is actually to play golf. Is that right, Frank?
Ah, well, yes, golf.
In fact, you've had a few goes already with your mate, Tony Lynch.
Lynch?
Well, is that his name, Tony?
What he said. Not happy.
You're not happy? Why? Well, he says he's been around with you a few times.
Oh, yes, Lynch and I have. Yes, that's right.
Well, I tell you what we're going to do on Surprise. Now, this is the... Are you ready for this, Frank?
Well, I'm not sitting down, but go on.
We're going to arrange for a special course for you.
With no holes in it. Oh, hey, Frank, you're making this ever so difficult for me. I'm sorry, go on.
My false eyelashes falling off here, hang on.
You've got problems.
No, because there are special courses, as you know, for the visually handicapped.
Yeah.
You know about that. Well, they got in touch with us and we got in touch with them. We've been meeting them and they've arranged a special course for you at the Liverpool golf course. How about that? And we've even arranged a special pro to take you around. It's a 6 weeks course. Will you bear with us for 6 weeks?
Oh, I'll play golf for six anything, yes, smash it.
Isn't that lovely? Well, Bob Bouvier, do you know him? He's at the Liverpool golf course.
Not him as well.
Yes, Bob's in it.
I know Bob, yes.
Well, he's the pro there.
I'll kill him. He's not said a word about this.
I know, Chuck, nobody has. Now, I know you have got some golf clubs. What state are they in?
Oh, they've got a lot of turf on them, but they're all right. There's not too many chips out of them. They're not too bad.
Well, we thought for a person like you, everybody adores, that's not good enough for you, Frank. Not only are you going to get a full set of clubs, but we are going to have them custom-made especially for you.
Good God.
He won't help you now, Frank.
Beyond redemption.
No, but we're hoping Bob Bouvier will, and of course your very good mate Tony Lynch will. And it doesn't end with this phone call, because we're going to keep tags on you, Frank.
Oh.
Yes, we are going to be watching your every move and your every progress.
Just on the golf course?
Just... Well, you never know, you never know. Now, what are you going to say to your Julie after this phone call?
Well, that's... am I on the air?
Yes.
Oh, well, did you know about this deer?
I look forward to seeing you later on this year. All right, Frank?
Certainly, my pleasure. Bye
Speak
for
to
now.
you soon.
Thanks,
Ta-ra.
Bye.
Bye. Well, we'll be following Frank's progress throughout the series on the golf course to see how his game's going. Meanwhile, it's over to our Bob, who's trying to keep the frostbite at bay in the igloo. Are you still there, Bobby?
Yes, in the rapidly melting igloo, I might add. We're not sure if it's going to last the night. But anyway, Glenys is all tucked up in bed, as snug as a bug in her rug, and she's well fed now after a fish supper. She only managed one bucketful. I don't think you enjoyed that very much,
No.
We've actually discovered, Cilla, that this is an egg.
An egg? What's an egg?
Well, it hasn't got a loo. But it's a good job the bucket's now empty. Anyway, one of the things, we've got a bit of a nightcap for you, Glenys. I've got some orange juice. Would you like any ice? Yes. All right. There you go.
Oh, don't bother my collapse. Are you all right, Glenys?
Yes, fine, thank you.
And you still haven't got cold feet?
Far from it.
She's got a wet head.
A wet head, but warm as toast, as it were.
That's right.
And you're still prepared to stay the whole night in that igloo?
Oh, definitely.
Come rain or shine or snow?
Yes.
Oh,
well, in that case, I better put the milk bottles out. Before I do so, can I just say to Glenys, I'll quote an old Eskimo proverb to her. If in the night you have to go, please don't eat the yellow snow. is it all right, Cilla? I'll put the milk out because I'm not stopping in here.
I know you're not stopping in there.
It's damp.
I'd just like finally to wish Glenys the best of luck.
Thank you.
And I hope you stay the whole night there, even if only we can talk about you next week on the show.
Right.
The best of luck, Glenys.
Thank you.
Our thoughts are with you, and we'll be laughing our heads off.
Right. And I...
Oh, look, an Eskimo.
I don't know why they've got noses. It's better to snog.
Night-night, Glenys. What have you got there, Bob?
Sorry?
What have you got there?
The milk bottles.
Have you arranged for the milkman to come tomorrow?
Oh, yes. Oh, you're there, Cilla. Everyone's waving at me saying, over there, over there. Sorry, the milkman is coming in the morning, yes.
The milkman's coming in the morning.
2 pints, please.
Well, I hope it's not frozen. I think you've done a grand job, Bob. I'll see you back at the studio. I've got the hot cocoa ready, all right?
I'm on my way.
It's there, laced with a little brandy.
She
see you
can stay
later.
there.
Night-night. And while I go and put the kettle on, here's our Gordon with more news of who's looking for who.
Hello again. Well, earlier in tonight's show, you remember that we reunited David Hugo and his long-lost family. Well, while we were filming for that item, we discovered that David's wife, June, had also lost touch with her father. But let her tell you the story.
My name is June Hugo, born June McKinnon, on the 9th of August 1946 in Cape Town, South Africa. I'm looking for my father, Duncan Livingston McKinnon, who I last knew as a captain on the Blue Star Line. I'd also like to find his 2 other daughters, who are my stepsisters. If anyone out there can help, would you please contact Searchline?
I'll give you the number to ring in a moment. But finally, we're delighted to scotch any thoughts that John Giles and his wife Gloria from Mitcham, Surrey, could ever part. And that means, Terry Potter, originally from Tooting but now in Sutton, that you owe the happy couple a bottle of scotch. You see, some years ago, Terry bet his pal John a bottle of the hard stuff that he wouldn't still be with his wife Gloria when their daughter Tony reached the age of 18. Some friend. Well, Gloria has written to us with the news that she and John are still very much together and that Tony will be 18 on Sunday. And she wants Terry to come to the party complete with bottle of scotch. And I should think an apology. So happy birthday, Tony. Congratulations, John and Gloria. And shame on you, Terry, but get in touch with us. And that's just about it for this week. But if you can help us with any of the items you've seen on Searchline tonight, then please ring us on 01 222 8070. As always, our researchers will be answering the telephones until 10 o'clock tonight. Or you can write to us at Searchline, Surprise, Surprise, London Weekend Television, South Bank TV Centre, London SE99 6YW. That's it for this week, but I'll be back next Friday with more items on Searchline. In the meantime, back we go now to Cilla.
Thanks a lot, Gordon. See you next week. Well, now I'm looking for a very special person. Where are you, Maggie Edmonds? Surprise, surprise. Give us a wave, Maggie. Where are you? There you are, sweetheart. Would you like to come and join me, please? And bring your lovely husband, Dudley, with you. Come and join me, please. Welcome to Surprise, Surprise. Have a seat down there. Hello, Dudley. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
I suppose you're wondering why you're here, Maggie. Well, it's all your Dudley's fault. I had a very moving letter from him. I mean, it touched the hearts of everybody here at Surprise, Surprise. He wrote and told us all about you. He wrote and told us that, well, you were married for the first time in 1959, is that right? Mm-hmm. And you had a son called Stephen. Yes. But sadly, that marriage didn't work out, and your little son Stephen was brought up by his dad, is that right? Yes. And when your young Stephen was only 12 years old, his dad emigrated to Australia, taking Stephen with him. Yes. Now you lost touch with him since then, and he was only 12 years old. In fact, Dudley writes to say that you don't know where he is. No, no idea. You don't know what part of Australia he's in? No. No. Isn't that a shame? In fact, you could even be a grandmother and you don't know it. Yeah. Well, surprise, surprise, we have found your Stephen. You haven't seen him since he was 12 years old. He's right here in this country, all the way from Australia. Come in, Stephen, lad. Say hello to your mother. And guess what? Here's another surprise for you, Maggie. You are a grandmother. Yes, you've got 2 little grandchildren. Bring them on, Diane. This is your daughter-in-law. Diane, bring the 2 kiddies on. It's Christy and Jodie. Have a look at this, Maggie. Happy days ahead. What a lovely reunion. See you later.
Yes, thank you.
All right, Maggie.
The more the world is changing, the more it stays the same. Life is full of small surprises. It's a never-ending game. If nothing is impossible, will you believe your eyes? If the unexpected brings a smile, that's a big surprise, surprise, surprise. The unexpected hits you between the eyes. The unpredictable, that's the surprise you see. Surprise, surprise.
Well, that's it for this week, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to thank everybody who's taken part in tonight's show, especially Gordon Burns and the lovely Bob Carolgees. We'll be back at the same time next week to find out how Glenn has survived her night in the igloo and to surprise a few more people. Until then, see you next week. Ta-ra then, ta-ra!
And there are more surprises next Friday at the same time, 7:30.
Now though,